What's going on, boys and girls? Jim here, RCAD. Today is Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. Well, you know what's going on. Getting ready to do an unboxing on a Traxxas Trx4m Bronco. This is going to be the second Trx4m product on the channel so far. Loving the Trx4m platform right out of the gate here. Channel subscriber, can't thank that person enough. Sent me this Trx4m High Trail Edition as a birthday gift just a couple days ago. And love the vehicle. Absolutely love it. Probably have about 3 hours worth of runtime on the vehicle so far. I'm not too sure what the previous owner had on it as far as runtime goes. Very low hours from what I understand. But so far, loving the platform. Haven't had any problems with it. Knock on wood. Steering circle seems plenty strong enough. Out in the snow, it's able to move the back end of the vehicle around without a problem. Previous owner put a lower gear set in here, crawler gear, and I like it. I think it's a great platform. I've ordered some parts for it, ball bearings and different ring and pinions. So uh, more upgrades to come on this vehicle. But so far, loving the TRX4 platform or TRX4M platform right out of the gate. So we'll leave links down below in the information area for the TRX4Ms. But let's say you don't want to buy one of those. Let's say you need a battery though from Spectrum, or let's say you need a team associated wrench or something else from Amy and Hobbies, a set of tires or whatever. As long as you follow the link down below to take you into Amy and Hobbies, that would give me a very small percentage of the sale. I'm going to say it's right around 5%. Doesn't cost you guys and gals anything extra that would come from Amy and Hobbies and the manufacturer. More of a finder's fee for bringing you guys to Amy and Hobbies. So it doesn't matter what link you follow to get to Amy and Hobbies, as long as you follow the link in. It doesn't matter if you want a TRX4M and come out of there with an SCX24 or a battery or a screwdriver, it would still give me a very small percentage of the sale. So just want to tell you guys about that right out of the gate. It's a disclaimer. All right, so TRX4M Bronco sitting here. Left it in the original container once again just to show you guys and gals how well Amy and Hobbies have packaged all the items in here. So I've got the Bronco in here as well as a new body for this vehicle. When the owner of that vehicle sent it out as a birthday gift, he told me what color it was and what the vehicle was. I wasn't too sure about that brown. Sorry for laughing, Dave. Wasn't too sure about that brown. So I ordered a different color body for it, as well as a light kit for it and a light kit for this vehicle, as well as a set of bearings and ring and pinions, different differentials for it, different gears for it, uh, as well as different gears for this one. So more items than one in here. There's more items than just the truck. So I want to show you guys how well packaged it was. It had a delay in shipping. It started out from North Carolina, I want to say, and somehow went to Indiana, and then it sat in Indiana for 6 business days. And I actually called Amy and Hobbies and was like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on with this package, but it hasn't moved in days." And they said, "Well, look, if it's not hasn't moved or doesn't move by the 10th, if we don't see any action from it by the 10th, give us a call. We'll replace all the items or refund your money." And then it started moving on the 10th and then showed up here on the 11th. So it sat in Indiana for 6 business days essentially without doing anything. And it looks like they basically just kicked it around the storage facility or the distribution center for 6 days before sending it the rest of the way the rest of the way here. Sorry for laughing, Dave. Dave is a viewer who left a comment about me laughing more than one, and it kind of got under my skin a little bit. But regardless of all that, I'm going to try not to laugh as best I can. I want to show you guys the package, all the dents on the package. It has an impact point right here, another impact point, another impact point, another impact point. Kind of a smash in right there on that side. On the bottom, it's got a little smash in right here where the tape's actually peeled. Another uh, crunch right there on that side. Another indentation over here. Another one over here. So regardless, it's got some bruises on it, and I wanted to show you guys how well it was packaged on the inside. So we'll get the camera in closer here and take a look at everything officially. But they've got some bubble wrap across the surface. We got our vehicle sitting right there, not that color. And then over here on the side, wrapped in bubble wrap, is everything else that we ordered. Our F-150 High Trail Edition body right here. We're just sitting off to the side. Ordered this in white as a tribute to a vehicle that my friend had way back in the day with 44-inch tires on it and a 429 Cobra Jet, and he had dual 4-barrel carbs on a tunnel ram sticking up to the hood and 44-inch tires. It was a cool truck, and this is going to be like a little mini tribute to that. So ordered a different color body for it. These were currently on sale when I ordered it from Amy and Hobbies. They were on sale through Traxxas. I want to say 20% off on all their bodies. So pretty good deal on that. Packaged up excellent. And then beneath all that layer of foam there, and that was completely wrapped in bubble wrapped in foam. We have all the other items that were ordered. The main hobby sitting down in here, which is our light kit, Pro Scale light kit for the F-150 High Trail. A set of Trio overdrive ring and pinions. Sorry, I'm not in front of the camera. A set of Trio overdrive ring and pinions. There's our light kit once again if it wasn't caught on camera. Sorry about no flash. So these are helical cut ring and pinions. Light kit for the Bronco. And a Traxxas servo horn for the High Trail Edition. Most of the stuff I ordered, essentially the stuff on the side, was for the High Trail Edition versus the Trx4m Bronco. But I ordered some other stuff to go along with it. So I have a Mias lower gear set here, a metal gear set, which is a combination of brass and steel. And that's going to be going inside the Bronco or the High Trail Edition. We're going to take the gears, the lower plastic Traxxas gears that are in the High Trail, and move it over to the Bronco. Also ordered some stuff from Endura. So not everything was from A-Main Hobbies. And once again, we're in a partnership program with A-Main. They've got a huge part selection. I mean, really second to none on parts and supplies and RCs. They have a gigantic, ginormous collection of parts and supplies and accessories. I mean, really, you could spend 8 hours looking at crawler accessories. It's insane. And they've got over 20 pages of stuff just for the Trx4m. So all kinds of stuff there. But I found more stuff, or a lot of stuff from Endura and Mias as well. So Mias has ring and pinions and overdrives and underdrives and helical cut, hardened steel. Endura does as well. So got this stuff from Amazon, some stuff from Amazon, which included another ring and pinion set, which is the stock gear set. Before I knew that they had underdrives or underdrives available for the rear axle. I'll be ordering more parts. An Endura bearing set for the F-150 and a set of wheels for the F-150 as well. And then I learned this after the fact. Excuse me for talking about this. I learned this after the fact that the tires that come on the, I'm not too sure about this. Oh boy. Sorry to the previous owner there. Bounced it off the shelf. The tires that come with this vehicle, I'm not too sure about this one, but the tires that come with the High Trail Edition will not work on a aftermarket set of wheels. These will only work on these Traxxas plastic wheels. To my knowledge, there's a little disclaimer. If you're looking at the tire description, it tells you that the bead is so thick on the tire that it won't work with a set of Enduro wheels or a set of RC four-wheel drive wheels or any other kind of wheels. They'll only work with the Traxxas plastic wheels for these Mickey Thompsons, which are a 61 millimeter tire. So I got these wheels, or I bought these wheels, purchased these wheels with the intention of putting those tires off of the F-150 onto these wheels. So mental note there, guys and gals, when it comes to these tires, the Traxxas tires, they will not work on these aftermarket wheels. But there we go. I ordered some other parts. Once again, these all came from Amazon. Once again, so in a partnership program with A-Main Hobbies. But hey, sometimes you got to go elsewhere to get the parts that you need. So the ring and pinion gears, I would recommend going to Amazon and typing in Traxxas Trx4m upgrades, and A-Main or Endura has a big selection of ring and pinions for the rear end and front differential, overdrives and underdrives, hardened steel, helical cut, as well as Mias racing for gear sets and ring and pinions as well. So Enduro stuff from Amazon, excuse me, and the rest of the items from A-Main Hobbies. So there we go on all that stuff. So we're gonna move the camera in a little bit closer, get our Bronco out of the box here. Might as well take it out right now. Then we'll get our camera in a little closer. We won't smash our other body here in the process. And all right, camera off the tripod, taking a look at the truck, and on the first side of the box, Trx4m Bronco, licensed by Ford, I believe. Scale and trail crawler, 1/18 scale, Traxxas. Look at the red truck. It's a cool looking color. All the colors available for this vehicle are great looking colors. Sorry about the glare. Red isn't bad. I'm just not much of a red person, but it's a good looking truck. Spinning around to the next side, we have all the different colors that are available. Red, blue, which is more of the like the TRX4 Sport color blue, really. White, black, cyber orange, which is a good looking orange, and Area 51 blue. I was torn between the white one and the Area 51 blue. Hindsight, I wish I would have bought the Area 51 blue. On the camera's jumping there. Hindsight, I wish I would have bought that, but we went with the white one. Other than that, we've got a warning down here. Important, this product is not designed for children or minors under the age of 14 years old. Responsible adult supervision is required during operation and maintenance. Below that, we have some more instructions down here about lithium polymer batteries. If we get our camera to focus in over here on lithium polymers. But talking about the charging on that, and that should be done by adults 18 years or over. Anybody under 18, it should be under adult supervision when it comes to charging the lithium polymer batteries and storage for the lithium polymer batteries. Don't leave your lithium polymer batteries inside your vehicle. Never leave them plugged in. You should always keep them on a storage charge, but you're not going to be able to do that with the included battery and charger that come with this vehicle. If you want to put a storage charge on the included battery that comes with the vehicle, you would need to buy a battery adapter and a Traxxas full-size lithium polymer smart charger. So you need the little adapter to go into the charger to go from this vehicle's plug, three-prong plug, to the Traxxas plug, and then a Traxxas smart charger in order to balance that. So I think the minimum on that is right around $60 for that Traxxas smart charger that can balance charge one of those, or storage charge, not balance charge, but storage charge one of those batteries. The included USB charger works great for charging the vehicle, though. You just can't put a storage level on it. Not too sure what the voltage cutoff on this is. I want to say it's right around 7.3 or 7.2, which is below a storage level. Storage level is 7.6 volts. So once again, if higher end charger would be better for prolonged battery life. But if you purchase one of the vehicles, feel free or make sure to read all the warnings and precautions when it comes to the lithium polymer battery and storage and usage and charging and all that good nonsense. Further on down the line, we just have that in different languages, licensed by BF Goodrich over here and Ford Motor Company over here, and then all our other safety requirements that it has passed down here. Traxxas's address, made in Taiwan over there. Next side of the box, we have it in blue. Once again, kind of like the TRX4 Sport Color Blue. Sorry about the glare. TRX4m Bronco, scale and trail crawler, 1/18 scale, Traxxas once again. Next side of the box, Area 51 blue, which I really like. Battery and USB charger included. 1/18 scale once again. Our cyber orange, which is cool. Again, another cool color. And back around to the red. Bottom half of the box, we've got it in white. Actual size right there. 1/18 scale, scale and trail crawler. What's included inside the box, along with our Traxxas phone number right there for inside the U.S. and outside the U.S. All right, what's in the box? 1/18 scale TRX4M, ready to drive with Ford Bronco body. TQ 2-channel 2.4 gigahertz radio system. Included lithium polymer battery and charger. ECM 2.5 electronic control module, which is your ESC and receiver all in one, as well as your light controller. It controls your LEDs. If you get the Traxxas Pro Scale lighting kit, which has certain functions like brake lights and hazard lights, I want to say, but it's a smart ECM of sorts. Next item is a Titan 180 87-turn motor, quality tool set, quick start guide. What you'll need to run your model, sold separately at your hobby dealer. Sorry for laughing, Dave. 4 AA batteries, that's why I'm laughing. They said sold separately at your hobby dealer. You can get 4 AA's pretty much anywhere. Skill level is 1. No previous experience with radio controlled models is required. Model requires a minimum of setup, maintenance, and support equipment. And we have that over here in several different languages. French, I believe. Spanish is the next column. And then German over here on the far right. Actual size on the vehicle, once again, right there. Good looking truck. Last side of the box is what the actual vehicle looks like. And this is actual size. I apologize for all that glare. We'll get it here where we can't see that glare. Maybe put something underneath it to hold the truck in place. I'll read everything off, and I'll just zoom the camera in here, some picture-in-picture zooming. Starting off with our frame rails, steel frame rails, 45-degree steering angle, which is pretty darn good. Heavy-duty micro steering servo. Looks like it has some metal gears in there, but I'm not too sure. Oil-filled GTM shocks. It's a plastic body shock. Doesn't tell you the millimeters on the shock. I measured the High Trail Edition with a set of dial calipers, digital dial calipers, and they were 52 millimeters from eyelet to eyelet. So we'll measure these and see what they look like. ECM 2.5 electronic control module. That is your ESC and your receiver all in one, once again, as well as the lighting control system for the Traxxas Pro Scale lighting kit. It also controls the light functions on the lighting kit. Moving on, 87 turn Titan 180 motor reverse rotation. According to this, it doesn't say that here, but it says that here. Included 750 milliamp 7.4 volt 2-cell lithium polymer battery, which is held in with a rubber strap. Hooks up pretty easy. Hook and loop would also work pretty good. Not too sure on which one would have better longevity. Talking about our clipless body mounting system here, reading this backwards. Officially licensed BF Goodrich Mud Terrain TA KM3 tires. Mud Terrains on the Broncos, and I believe Canyon Trails on the Defenders. And then on the High Trail editions, they come with the Mickey Thompson Baja Pro or whatever new design tire, which works out pretty good as well, and a slightly larger. Not too sure on the tire diameter on this one. I want to say it's 57 millimeters, but don't quote me. We'll include a little insert down here on what the actual size is for it. I want to say 57 millimeters, and then on the High Trail edition, they are 61 millimeters. And they were very unclear on some of the spots on A-Main Hobbies as to what the actual size was on the High Trail edition tires as far as the outer diameter went. But after measuring them with a dial caliper, they are 61 millimeters in outer diameter. So once again, not too sure what these are. I think they're 57s. They don't tell you here on the instructions or on their description here. Moving on, 2S lithium polymer battery and USB charger, 750 milliamp pack. That's 0.750 amps, and a 2 amp USB lithium polymer fast charger. So that plugs into a regular USB phone charger jack to charge up your battery. It will not put a storage level on your battery. So for proper lithium polymer longevity, it's smart to put a storage charge on your lithium polymer batteries when you're not using them. In order to put a storage charge on this lithium polymer battery, which is not adaptable to any other charger other than a Traxxas, just because of the plug design on this battery, and the battery does not have a balance charger on there or a balance cord. So one wire coming off this, you can't charge it on your traditional lithium polymer battery. You need a Traxxas ID charger in order to put a storage charge on this battery. The USB charger works fine for charging it. If you run the vehicle until it hits low voltage cutoff, I want to say that it cuts off at less than 7.6 volts. 7.6 volts is a storage charge. I want to say it cuts off at maybe 7.3 or 7.4. I did a run with my High Trail edition, and I checked the battery afterwards, so you'd have to refer to that video for what the end result was on our battery voltage. But just below storage level, I want to say. So if you want to put a storage charge on the battery, you'll have to get a special adapter to adapt this to the Traxxas ID charger, and then you would need to purchase a Traxxas ID charger in order to do that. And I want to say that's a minimum of right around $60 US for the base model charger to put a storage charge on this particular battery. Moving on, factory installed LED lights. They show them here in the bumper. The headlights look like they're lit up, but I'm not too sure. Once again, I did order a Traxxas Pro Scale lighting kit for this vehicle, and here's a peek of that and all the part numbers and whatnot to go along with it. 9783 for the Bronco. It says headlights and then daytime lights, so maybe high beams and low beams there, tail lights, reverse lights, and hazard lights. So there's all the functions for the Pro Scale lighting kit once again on that. And that pretty much covers everything that's on this side of the box. Once again, not too sure what the vehicle comes with. You can see lights going here to the bumper, but not sure if it comes with headlights for it. Regardless, it does not come with taillights, and you need something like this for that, unless you do your own custom lighting on here. Not too sure what this puts out as far as voltage to the LED lights, which is an interesting question. On the Traxxas TRX4 full-size vehicles, they use a low-voltage LED system for those. So I want to say it puts out right around 3.5 volts or 3.7 volts. It's definitely not 7.4 volts on the full-size vehicle. The incoming voltage goes into this little distribution block, which reduces the incoming voltage from the ESC, the electronic speed controller, to the lighting control module. Before it goes to the LED lights, if you plug 6 volts into them, you'll blow the bulbs. So on the full-size TRX4s, they use a low-voltage lighting system. I'm not too sure if they do that on these or not. I haven't put a voltmeter on it. We'll check that. We'll put a voltmeter on it and see if they're low voltage. But it is possible to wire up your own LEDs for it if you wanted to do that. All right, so that is everything on the box, all our different sides. Just a matter of grabbing a knife and cutting this baby open, picking a side to open it up from, whether we open it up from this side or we open it up from this side, probably this side. So we'll roll the dice, open it up from this side, and see what she looks like. Reaching for a knife here, kids. Be careful with knives. If you're not a careful kid, have your parents open things up for you. It's not very much fun, you know, if you're to have your parents open things up for you. I'm just using a regular drywall knife or carpet knife or box cutter knife, essentially. Razor knife. My luck, it's going to be upside down and backwards. All right, so this is a birthday gift once again from all of my relatives, immediate family, loved ones, mother, brother, niece, father. And this is our instruction manual. I was trying to grab that separately, but it doesn't want to doesn't want to slide out separately. There we go. It's probably because of the toolkit, the included toolkit. And here's a quick peek at our included quality tool set. We've got 1, 2, 3 shock collar spacers, but not 4. 2 hex wrenches in there, I'm assuming different sizes, and then a 5mm wheel nut wrench. Below that is the manual and a few items here on the manual. Inside the manual, there is just basically a quick rundown on the vehicle, a few pages of blow-up schematics covering the vehicle from head to toe, and then a full list of parts for everything that is on the vehicle. On the next side, we've got our quick start guide for the truck. We'll get into that here for programming the ECM for crawl mode or trail mode or whatever mode that we want to put it in. We're going to put it in crawl mode. If you want the full PDF file for the manual on the vehicle, you can download this little QR code or take a picture of that QR code, download the PDF file, and that covers everything on the vehicle, including the transmitter, setting endpoints on the transmitter, and binding the transmitter, and yada, yada, yada. So if you want the full manual, you can download the QR code right here, or take a picture of the QR code and download the PDF file. Otherwise, it's just basically a quick start guide for the most part. All right, moving on. Pulling the truck. Oh, look at that. We got it the right side. That's amazing. That never happens. That was me. That was my luck. All right, so there we go. We got the truck out of the box. Box is empty. Cool looking truck right now, right off the bat. Taking a look at it. We'll start with the small things. Checking out the battery. I don't think it's taped in. Nope, not taped in. They have the flash on, and they're probably going to mess this up getting into it. I always do that. I'm going to wreck the box. All right, so there's our warning label for the battery. Make sure to read your safety precautions. And a quick look at the battery. It includes 750 milliamp 2-cell LiPo. Once again, no balance plug on here. We just have this 3-wire connector. I know if you put a voltmeter on here, you get the battery voltage right here, the total voltage off of these 2 prongs right here. And then if you go from ground to here, it's only giving you the voltage for 1 cell, from what I remember. So not too sure how all that works, but no balance plug on this thing. Once again, if you want to put a storage charge on there, excuse the camera for going on out of focus there. If you want to put a storage charge on this battery, you're going to need, once again, the Traxxas ID charger. And the base charger, once again, is right around $60 US. Don't quote me on prices. Prices change. Here's our included USB charger. Get our camera to focus in on this here. It's got a couple different little settings on here, a couple different idiot lights on here. Solid red, no light, it's ready. Solid red, flashing green, we have a low battery. Solid red, solid green, the battery is charged. Flashing red, no other light, then there's an error. So there's a quick peek at our USB, our included USB charger. Checking out the transmitter. Pretty basic transmitter. Once again, the Traxxas TQ, 2.4 gigahertz. There's our set button up here. Looked like somebody was smoking. Sorry for laughing, Dave, but it looked like there was ashes up there. Once again, Dave is a viewer who left several comments on several different videos about my laugh and saying how annoying it was and that I needed to seek medical attention and all kinds of things, accusing me of being on drugs and whatnot. I didn't get into the discussion, so nevertheless, sorry for laughing, Dave, and sorry for bringing that up. So there's a quick look at our Traxxas TQ transmitter. Our batteries get installed here across the bottom. with our 4 AA batteries. Make sure to follow the polarity, positive to positive, negative to negative. Spring side goes to the negative, positive side goes over here on our smaller spring. Usually that's a tab, not a spring. Follow your polarities and everything should go great. Pulling out, checking out our Bronco here, wrapped in plastic. Cool looking little truck. Encased in foam. And there she is. What a good looking truck. Got foam sticking to me. Foam works great for packing vehicles in, but man, that stuff just gets everywhere. Static. So nice that they got a little plastic wrap on it. That's cool. We'll peel the plastic wrap off it. Taking a look at the mirrors. I was wondering about the mirrors on this vehicle. On the High Trail Edition F-150, the mirrors are a little bit on the fragile side. Well, we're going to unclip our body here. Love that clipless body system there, or body pinless body system there. It's not clipless necessarily. It's, well, it's tabbed. So I guess it is clipless. Love the clipless body system. Fully wrapped in plastic. So anyways, the mirrors here, I'm wondering about the mirrors. Once again, the High Trail Edition, the mirrors are kind of fragile. One of the mirrors was broken off during shipping, which had nothing to do with the previous owner, but had to do with shipping. And I glued it back on and broke it again out driving the vehicle and then glued it back on again. So a little bit fragile on the mirrors. I was hoping that these would be a little bit more solid, which they are. They're a little bit more robust looking. Thicker around the base right here. So hopefully these hold up, these mirrors, to rollovers and things of that nature. If they're like a rubber mirror or something a little bit more flexible, that would probably be a little bit more ideal. So taking a look at the body, once again, white is our color choice here. We've got some kind of smoked out taillights there to a degree. I guess not. It's a red lens. Looks like it has a sticker over top of it. Camera not being very good there. Ford logo down here, Bronco logo over there. Light has a kind of a clear outline going around it. It's gonna be interesting to see what it looks like with a set of taillights in there. Checking the headlights out on the front. It's like a bucket with a sticker behind it, perhaps. See where you install the bulbs right here on either side. It looks like the bulbs would be shining through the stickers, unless you're supposed to remove those stickers beforehand. I'll have to check out the instructions on the lighting kit, whether it's blasting through the stickers or if the stickers need to get removed. And our light gets installed right up there. There's a little socket for it. And our tabs for the body mounting system. All the body parts are, looks like they heated up the plastic and smashed them over to hold it in place. The trim parts, door handles. A good looking body. Tinted windows, and you can get clear windows for the vehicle as well. You can get clear windows for the F-150s and the Chevys as well. Not to burn up the word as well. Checking out the vehicle once again. Lighting issue. We're talking about the lighting, or wondering about that. No lights in the vehicle inside the body, and the only lights are in the bumper. So there we go. Covered that basis. Servo on axle. Servo's mounted vertical on the axle. They do make a horizontal servo mount kit for this. Endura and Mias Racing makes a horizontal servo mount for this if you wanted to do that. Checking out the shocks, oil-filled shocks, once again, all the way around. Not too sure on the millimeters. Just looking at it right now, it looks like it's about the same as the High Trail Edition, which is 52 millimeters from eyelet to eyelet. But we'll peel the tire off and check it out. Suspension's not too bad on that. Seems to be working better, a little bit more fluid than the High Trail Edition was. Yeah, back is a little bit, back was sticking a little bit over here in this back corner. They probably need to be moved a little bit. They don't feel too bad. I was thinking that the High Trail might need a lighter oil in it, but these move a little bit more freer. I was also thinking some lighter springs, softer springs might be the way to go as well. So we'll maybe look at that in the future. Once again, servo and axle mounted vertically in between. Might interrupt. When I was looking at longer shocks, I'm not too sure how much this is going to come into play with longer shocks or not. But when you're articulating the suspension on the High Trail Edition, which has longer links and the servo hangs down a little bit further, the servo comes pretty close to touching the frame on either side. So that's where the lay down servo might be a little bit of a better option. You might have more swing room with your articulation with the lay down servo. A servo mounted in the frame might be even better yet. I don't think anybody makes one of those mounts for it as of yet. Taking a look at the motor. Once again, 87 churn, Traxxas Titan 180 reverse rotation. The Trx4m High Trail had a sticker right here that was sticking up, and that thing was driving me nuts during videos. This one has the same sticker, but it's kind of buried within the wires. I was able to move that sticker. You can take it off, of course, but I was able to move that sticker back in underneath the battery tray and kind of laid it in flat underneath the battery tray to get it out of the way. So it was driving me nuts. It was sticking up like this. This one's kind of looped in underneath. We'll get that out of the way as well. Now, I did see on Amazon's website that somebody using a 3D printer, I'm assuming, made full plastic inner fenders for this going all the way around. So I'm pretty sure that they had them for the High Trail Edition as well. But I did see them available for the Bronco. Not too sure what the price was on them. I want to say maybe less than $15 US. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me. But if you look online, you might be able to find some inner fenders for this to block all this stuff off. So just a little FYI on that. Here's the rubber strap to hold down the battery, which gets attached right over here. Disconnected and then connected. I'll look at our ECM, our 2.5 ECM, which once again is your electronic speed controller and receiver all in one. And it's pretty easy to set up when it comes to programming the ECM, which we'll go through. It's just one button programming right here. Pretty easy to do, and we'll cover that base. So that's a quick look at the top side of the truck. Plastic links all the way around, plastic skid plate. You can buy high clearance links for this thing. You can buy all kinds of brass goodies for this as well. Different color differential covers and uprights for the axles and just a whole medley of parts and accessories available for the vehicle. But when it comes to going off-road and rock crawling and things of that nature, keep this in mind. Plastic slides over rocks better than metal does. Aluminum is going to eventually scar up and start grabbing on rocks. Plastic is going to scar up as well, but it's a lot slicker and it slides across rock better than metal does. So keep that in mind when it comes to aftermarket parts. That plastic slides better across rock than metal does. When it comes to the links, they do make high clearance links for this vehicle, but I'm not too sure how necessary they would really be. If we look at where our drive shaft is in relation with these links, the drive shaft is actually hanging down a little bit below the link. So if you were to put a high clearance link on here, which changes the angle right here and brings it up even further, that would make your drive shaft pinion even more exposed, meaning that that's going to be taking the brunt of all the scrapes and scratches and impacts going off-road. Right now, it's kind of a smooth transition across here from front to back as you're following down those links. So I don't think high clearance links would do this vehicle much good in stock form for the most part if you're to buy aftermarket parts for it. Once again, just because of the angle here. It's already at a flat transition coming across. Yes, this is protruding downward a little bit further, but if you were to put high clearance links on here and bring this angle up even further, that would really significantly expose the pinion on your drive shaft. So it's a do-it-your-own risk situation. Normally, I'm all for high clearance links in certain applications, but I don't, for the Trx4Ms, I don't think it would work out. If we look at my, not to get off subject, but if we look at my Axial SCX24 Jeep JLU CRC, I do have high clearance links on this, but the differential pinion is way at the top. So having the high clearance links on this makes sense. Gives you that extra clearance, and the drive shaft is well beyond the safe level, being tucked in there underneath. So high clearance links on a vehicle such as this are okay and make sense, but on this particular vehicle, I think it would be a waste of money, just because it's already relatively flat across here. You put a set of high clearance links on there, you're seriously going to expose the pinions on both ends. So there we go on that nonsense. Just a little bit of food for thought on high clearance links with the TRX4Ms. And taking a peek at the back bumper, plastic back bumper, little Traxxas license plate back here. They do make aluminum bumpers for this. Traxxas makes aluminum bumpers for it. Other companies make aluminum bumpers as well. Bummer about the Traxxas bumper is it says Traxxas right into the bumper, which kind of stinks. You know, as far as ruining the scale look of a vehicle, you on a real one-to-one Bronco, you wouldn't have a bumper that says Traxxas on the back of it, right? So it's kind of a bummer that says Traxxas on the bumpers. The aluminum bumpers that they make for the Land Rover do not say Traxxas. They're just straight aluminum bumpers. So a little bit of a bummer that they say Traxxas on them. Trio makes a set of bumpers as well, but they say Trio on the bumper. So until somebody makes an aluminum bumper that doesn't have their name, the manufacturer name stamped into it, I would stick with the stock plastic bumpers. And once again, plastic slides over rocks better than metal. So just keep that in mind. Bumper hangs down quite a bit across the back. A little bit of a shovel back here or a back blade back there as far as scooping things. Sorry for laughing, Dave, but that's probably going to be a snag point, I'm thinking, going off-road. Front bumper, quick look at that. It does have a couple slots over here for D-rings, which is cool. That includes a slot for D-rings. You could probably hook a bungee into there regardless, but it's easier with a set of D-rings. And our LEDs right there. Might be cool to paint those orange with an orange neon Sharpie and turn them into amber lights. Might look a little bit better. Versus having fog lights down there. All right, so there's a quick peek at our truck and all the included parts. Good looking vehicle. Suspension works good on it so far. Body snaps on nice and easy. Love that clipless body. That is sweet, no doubt about it. Probably adds a little bit of weight, but well worth it. Well worth it for sure. Articulation on the vehicle, I'm not too sure how good that is. Well, that's about full articulation right there. Back tire still touching the ground. Same thing in the back. Not too bad. Tires once again, BF Goodrich, mud terrains, KM3s. Pretty soft. No foams. Open air holes in the wheels. Not glued on. Not too sure about the bead on these, if you can use these tires with aftermarket wheels or not. Once again, TRX4 High Trail Edition, Mickey Thompson tires, you cannot use aftermarket wheels with those because the bead is too thick on the tire. So it might be the same way on these. That does look pretty thick on that bead. It might be the same way on these. But black plastic wheels, BF Goodrich mud terrains once again. Good looking truck. I dig it. It's cool. Get into our manual here and into our quick start guide and charge up our battery here real quick. And set up our ESC parameters or go through our ESC parameters. Pretty easy to do. Once again, one button setup over here. We'll dive into that real quick. Once again, kids, be careful with knives. If you're not a careful kid, have your parents do this for you. I almost cut myself right there with that. And I still didn't get it open. That's dangerous. Dangerous. Sometimes a dull knife can be more dangerous than a sharp knife. Well, if you remember to retract the blade on a knife like that. Get into our manual. Dump out our quality tool set. There's a peek at our quality tool set. And for the newcomers, I also did an unboxing video on that pre-owned Traxxas TRX4m High Trail back there as well, and dove pretty extensively into the manual and the quick start guide and the full manual as far as rebinding things and getting that vehicle where it needed to be. So if you want to find out more about it, feel free to check out that video. Getting into the manual here. Warnings, fire hazards, make sure to read all that stuff. Basically says the same thing in several different languages here on the first couple pages. Warnings and things of that nature. Safety precautions. Make sure to read it. Get into our vehicle layout. Once again, basically everything that we read on the box, our high quality tool set here, our battery, our included charger, 4AA batteries. They have Traxxas batteries right there. Our status lights on our charger. So I'll make sure to read all that if you have any questions about that. Battery installation in the transmitter, how to install the body and remove the body, how to install and remove the battery as well. Always disconnect the battery. Never leave your battery inside your vehicle. Leave your battery unplugged until you're ready to run the vehicle. Plug the battery in when you're ready to run it. After you finish running the vehicle, whether it hits low voltage cutoff or not, immediately remove the body, unplug the battery, remove the battery from the vehicle. Never store the battery in the vehicle. And it's always best to store your lithium polymer batteries in a LiPo-safe storage bag. So good to have one of these on hand as well, boys and girls. If you don't have a lithium storage bag, go online and get one. I highly recommend it for sure. All right, so covering that basis with our battery and installation and never leaving your battery inside your vehicle. Moving on to the next page. This is the page that we want over here with our ESC modes or ECM modes. Some low voltage detection modes over here. Talking about turning on your model, how to go about that. Always turn the transmitter on first before you plug in the model. The model is turned on automatically as soon as you plug the battery in, it's turned on. So when you go to shut the vehicle off when you're done running the vehicle, always unplug the battery first and then turn off the transmitter. Remove the battery from the vehicle and store the battery in a lithium polymer storage bag such as this. You can get one of these at your local hobby store or order one online. Just do an internet search on a lithium polymer storage bag and it should pop up all kinds of choices for those. So always turn on your transmitter first, then plug in your battery. When you're done running the vehicle, unplug the battery, remove the battery, and then shut off your transmitter. Basic transmitter stuff here, left and right, your forward and braking, as well as range checking the vehicle. So make sure to check all that stuff out. Low voltage detection, make sure to read all this stuff as well, which talks about the vehicle going into low voltage mode, which reduces the power on the vehicle down to 25%. When it does that, you pretty much want to unplug your battery and recharge it at that point in time. If you wait until the vehicle stops moving, immediately unplug it and recharge it, because you might be getting to the point of damaging your battery at that point in time. So we've got some lights here for our ECM. If you have a slow blinking red light and your ECM is turned on and your lights are turned on, the vehicle speed is reduced to 25%. You're in the low voltage mode. Unplug the battery and recharge the battery. Moving on to selection number 2, fast blinking red lights. ECM is on, lights are on, vehicle will not drive. Unplug the battery and recharge. Once again, you're probably getting close to damaging your battery at that point in time if the vehicle stops moving. Down here into the third mode, no blinking lights, ECM is off, lights are off. You have a stage 3 shutdown going on. Unplug the battery and recharge the battery once again. So I ran the TRX4M High Trail Edition once again for right around an hour and 45 minutes, an hour and 48 minutes, and it just got to the point of reducing the speed and slowing down. It never got to the point where it actually shut off, and I stopped running the vehicle at that point in time. And once again, I think the battery might have been 7.43 or something like that. We'll have to refer to the video, and I'll put some numbers up over here at the end of this. I'll put a little number off to the side on what the battery voltage was sitting at. But the moral of the story is it went right around an hour and a half, hour and 48 minutes before it got to reduced vehicle speed. So maybe a little bit longer before I got to the point of stopping, before stopping completely. But still, pretty long runtime on that 750 milliamp battery pack is the moral of the story. All right, moving on to our different modes here: sport mode, trail mode, and crawl mode. Trail mode is the default factory setting. Sport mode allows full throttle forward, full reverse, and braking power. So full forward and full reverse. Full forward when you hit the gas, full reverse when you hit the gas. But I don't think it starts braking until you maybe hit reverse twice, possibly. I could be wrong on that. You might have a little bit more freewheel when you let off on the gas in between forward and reverse at the neutral position. The vehicle might free roll a little bit easier without backfeeding and slowing it down. So if you're doing a lot of trail walking with your vehicle, walking behind the vehicle, you might want to have it in sport mode over here so it freewheels a little bit more. Trail mode adds brake at the neutral position. So when your trigger on your transmitter hits the neutral position, that's where it starts to brake. Crawl mode, I believe, anyways, on that crawl mode, it turns your braking up to 100% for maximum hill hold. So we're going to put it into crawl mode. That should be pretty easy to do. We want to turn our transmitter on first, so make sure you put batteries in your transmitter and you have them follow the right polarity, positive to positive, negative to negative. You should have a green light on your transmitter when you turn it on. Then we're going to plug in our ECM, or plug our battery into the ECM. At that point in time, we're going to press and hold the easy set button on the ECM, and the red light should start to flash. One red light flash is in sport mode, so if you wanted it in sport mode, we wait for that one flash and then release the button, and it should be in sport mode. If we get 2 flashes, then we're in trail mode. You hit 2 flashes, release the button, you're in trail mode. 3 flashes would be crawl mode, so we're going to wait for 3, release the button, and we should be in crawl mode. So let's go ahead here and turn our transmitter on, which is on now. We've got a green light right there. I already charged up our battery. I have the battery installed in the vehicle. We're going to go ahead here and hold the easy set button. Well, actually, no, we're going to plug in a battery first, right? That's what we're supposed to do. We're going to hold down this easy set button and count some lights. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then we're letting off. Now we should be in crawl mode. So it should be full brake at neutral there and instant reverse. Instant reverse from there to there. Now I think I'm in crawl mode. Let's try sport mode and see how that reacts. Let's hold this down and wait for 1 red flash. 1, okay. Now we should be in sport mode, so we hit the throttle. We're going forward, and there's nothing in reverse until we hit it a second time. So full throttle forward. We don't get reverse until we push on reverse. Not too sure if it freewheels in between. Yes, it does. No real braking. I think it's freewheeling a little bit there. All right, so let's try trail mode. So hold this down and wait for 2 red flashes. 1, 1, 2. Okay, we should be in trail mode. Throttle. No reverse until you double tap it. So that should be, and it's giving brake at neutral. So when you let off the gas, it's starting to brake in the neutral position. Now after that initial push and reverse, it goes into reverse again without double tapping it. So that's the initial brake on your initial push and reverse is brake and then reverse. All right, so there we go on that. We're going to go ahead and put it back into crawl mode. So 3 flashes is what we're looking for. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Pretty easy to set the ESC here, or ECM. Pretty easy to set that up. On this mode, we get reverse instantaneously after the neutral position, but it should be automatically braking as you're letting off on the gas. And a little bit of wobble with our tires, but they are not glued on once again. She is all set up and ready to go. We're going to go ahead here and unplug it. Slap our battery back on it, shut off our transmitter here. Remove our battery from the vehicle. All right, we're going to set this vehicle outside and start the acclimating process. Oh, you know what? I forgot to measure the shocks on this thing. Sorry for laughing, Dave. I forgot to measure the shocks on it. I was about ready to tell you guys and gals about how to acclimate your vehicle, which is pretty easy. We'll talk about that right now. I usually acclimate the vehicle by setting it inside a plastic sled or a cardboard box. You can put it on top of a plastic bag as well. Basically, you want to put a layer in between the vehicle and the cold ground so that nothing sticks to the vehicle. I always elevate the vehicles. Rest it on a 2x4 or on an old tire foam to get your tires in the air. Otherwise, when you bring your warm vehicle from the warm indoor temperatures outside, if you set it directly down onto the snow, the tires will melt the snow and it'll refreeze on your tires. You have a frozen flat spot. If you set it onto the dirt, cold dirt, same thing. You'll have a frozen frost layer on your tire. Plastic bag, same thing. You'll have a frozen frost layer on your tire. So you want to have it elevated and have the vehicle sitting off the ground ever so slightly. Never leave your battery in the vehicle, whether it's a nickel metal or lithium polymer, especially if it's a lithium polymer. Always acclimate your vehicle without a battery in it. Keep your battery inside. when it comes time to run your vehicle, bring the battery out to the vehicle and plug it in on the spot where it sits. If you were to bring the vehicle back inside, even for a minute, it's going to ruin the acclimation process. All right, so we're going to pull off a tire real quick and put a pair of dial calipers on our shock and see what our shock width is here, or length is, not width but length. Using a 5mm nut driver here, remove our wheel nut and tire, plastic wheel hex, and brass or bronze bushings. And we do have a bearing kit for this vehicle as well. Reaching for a pair of dial calipers. Turn these on and zero things out. Okay. Now let's see what she is. See what we get here from eyelet to eyelet on our shocks. Making sure she's fully extended. Yes, it is. We're right around 51.81, so probably 52 millimeters, depending on how far the shock end is screwed in. I'm saying it's probably pretty close to 52 millimeters. The Trx4m High Trail was 52 millimeters, and it's safe to say that these are probably 52 as well. Trying to go eyelet to eyelet as best I can. And it's 51.7. So probably 52 would be my guess on that. I'd assume. And we're back to zero. So I'm assuming 52 millimeters on that as well. Nylon lock nut on the wheel nuts. Just turn it down until it stops. And she's back installed. All right. We're going to go set our vehicle outside, get it acclimating, and go take it out for its first run. Oh, sorry, guys and gals. One more thing before we go. I said I would test the voltage on our lighting to see whether this is a low voltage lighting system or not. So I got a little voltmeter out here. And we'll go ahead here and check our voltage on our lighting and see what it's putting out. I'm assuming it's low voltage lighting, but just because it's Traxxas. Using a Craftsman voltmeter. I don't know if we're going to be able to see that on camera or not. Probably not. What our reading's at over here. Get our vehicle turned on and plug back in. All right, truck turned on. Excuse my hands for being in the way. If you guys can see this or not, I'm not too sure. And we'll check our lighting here. It's kind of weird the way we got that ran. Get a positive and a negative over here. Maybe if we're not going to be able to hit on it or not. Try right to the ESC. 6 volts is what we're reading. So we're putting out 6 volts to the LEDs. That means you can run pretty much any LED light kit in here that you wanted to, if you wanted to wire up your own LEDs, running 6 volts off of this system. And if you were to switch out the ESC for maybe a brushless combo aftermarket, not Traxxas, let's say a Hobbywing Mini 24 or a FuryTech system with a different receiver, as long as you're putting out 6 volts off of the receiver, you should be okay with the LEDs, the stock LEDs. So 6 volts is what we're putting out for our lighting. All right, so we're going to take this baby once again, set it outside, start the acclimating process. My apologies for forgetting about measuring our shocks and forgetting about our lighting there, but at least we got those bases covered. All right, so that's going to do it once again on this video, boys and girls. Run video is going to be next on the Trx4m. So far, digging the platform. It's a cool looking little truck. Can't wait to take it out in the snow and see what she can do. All right, so that's going to do it. Very much appreciated for you all. Stick around and watching the video. Questions and comments are always welcome, and we will see you all on the next video. Thanks again.